Enjoying the show? You can help others find it and enjoy it too by giving us a 5-star rating or review. If you feel like reaching out to us with a question or comment, you can send us an email at mywifetherd@gmail.com. And don't forget to visit our website at mywifethedietitian.com, as well as our social media pages. We're on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Enjoy the show. It's Rob and Sandra from My Wife the Dietitian, and this is Nutrition Nuggets.
Hi, Rob. We got a question from a listener.
Oh, I love those listener questions.
Should I use olive oil or coconut oil? Are they better than butter?
Huh. Yeah, good question. I asked that myself. I get confused with all the different, you hear so many different things about one's healthy, and then you hear someone saying it isn't healthy. And yeah, so there is definitely some confusion around all that.
Yeah. And
do you know the answer to that question?
We're going to discuss it.
I'm hoping, you can provide some information.
We did do a Nutrition Nuggets 81, how to use olive oil.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll reference that and put it in the show notes, and people can refer back to that. And also we did one way back, I don't know the number, fats, grease, and oil.
And didn't we do one on butter versus margarine? I think It was a Nutrition Nuggets. I recall that as well. So there's a few. We'll add them to the show notes because we don't have them on the tip of our tongues like we usually do.
Yes. The tip of the tongue, the teeth, the lips.
Well, that's pretty good. First try.
Yeah. Well, good question. I want to reference the Predimed study of olive oil.
What's it called? The Predimed? What does that mean?
Well, it's a study looking at the prevention of cardiovascular disease with Mediterranean diet, including olive oil.
Oh,
and
interesting.
It's Predimed, Predimed, and it's Spanish word, so I'm not going to say.
Oh, I see. Okay, no, that's the term they're using to define that. I got you. Okay.
So with that, it was a randomized clinical trial with over 7,000 Spaniards, the age 55 to 80 years old, all at risk for cardiovascular disease. And so there was 3 different arms in terms of dietary intervention.
Mm-hmm.
It was a Mediterranean diet supplemented with 4 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil. There was the Mediterranean diet supplemented with nuts. And then the standard, it was actually considered low-fat diet. So it had possibly more bread, rice, and cereals, and possibly higher in salt and lower in omega-3s. That was kind of a conclusion that there was some discussion in the journal about. So the follow-up period was about 4.8 years, and the people that included the 4 tablespoons of olive oil a day had less stroke, myocardial infarction, and cardiovascular disease death.
Really? 4 tablespoons a day?
Yeah.
Oh.
So, there's I think when people say Mediterranean diet, what do you think about?
Well, I think olive oil.
Yeah, I think that's a lot of the perception of Mediterranean diet is the addition of olive oil.
Olive oil and red wine. Question though, is that including olive oil instead of something else? Or is it comparing it to not having olive oil at all?
The other groups didn't have 4 tablespoons a day of olive oil.
Oh, I see. Okay. So it's good to include it, to start adding it,
Possibly.
Okay.
Possibly. And the thing is, in North America, in the 60s and 70s, when olive oil wasn't as fashionable, people probably had bottles in their cupboard for a year. Mm-hmm. They didn't go through it very often.
And it'd be nasty. Because it goes off, right? It gets kind of funky.
It does. Actually, that's a good question because they say it's on the back of every olive oil bottle is the harvest date.
Oh, really?
And it shouldn't be over 18 months. It should actually be within 6 months if you can, because then you're going to have more of those polyphenols, and the oil will have not been broken down and rancid but after 18 months, it can start to degrade because the fats get oxidized.
Interesting. Have you looked at our bottles? I didn't even know that was there. I'm going to check that out next time I buy it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Interesting.
Yeah, and the other thing, I think we mentioned on Nutrition Nuggets 81, how to use olive oil, the fact that because it's a fat that can be oxidized and damaged, that it shouldn't be in clear glass or plastic. It should be in a dark glass bottle.
Oh, like when you buy it, and or if you're, I don't know, buying it in bulk and storing it in a fancy container on the counter. Mm-hmm. It should be.
Even if you had it like in a tin container, like metal, sometimes you get those. And once you start using the olive oil, all the space in the top that after you've poured out some, that's all oxygen. So it actually starts to oxidize the oil in the container. So if you get one in a tin container or metal, it should actually be decanted into a dark glass bottle and then stored not by your stove.
Yeah, where you're going to be using it sometimes. You want to keep it cool. We keep ours under the counter in the cupboard.
Mm-hmm. So a cool, dark place would be good. And that will help preserve the quality of the oil. And there are over 3,000 varieties of olives.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, actually, 3,000. I knew there was a lot. But yeah, 3,000. Wow, that is a lot.
Yeah, they do like they have kind of like wine tasting. You can do like olive oil tasting on different olive
gardens. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I guess it's like grapes, right? There's different brands or different olives that create the product.
That's right. And then that gives a different flavor to the oil. Mm-hmm. And some are blended. Or some are mono, like one type of olive.
Oh, I see. Yeah, like one. Yeah, and others are a mix of a variety of olives to get the flavor.
Yeah, and the blend you'd want, the blend is better than the sum of any of its parts, if that makes sense. Kind of like the wine. Mm-hmm. Like you want a whole bunch of different grapes that maybe aren't great on their own, but together they make a really good flavor.
I see, yeah.
And a good product. And the same with olive oil. And you don't really want the ones that are, if you see on the shelf in the store, if it has sediment in it, that's actually not great because it can actually react with the olive oil and cause oxidation and degradation of the oil.
Okay.
And also, I think when we're talking about extra virgin and different types, it's all about the processing and how much filtration and the pressing of the olive. So to make olive oil, they just press the olives and they get the oil. So on the first pressing, it's extra virgin.
Oh, I see. I always wondered what that meant.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so, the flavors are like that kind of like peppery, fruity. They have all these different words for
like wine.
It's like wine tasting. Yeah, absolutely.
I think you'd probably notice it more if you could compare them all side by side. It'd be interesting. I know we were in Italy a couple of years ago, and I would really wanted to do an olive oil tour.
That would be fun. Yes.
Next time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Next time we're in Italy.
Yeah. Next time. Yeah. We should put it on the bucket list.
Yeah.
Right?
I think it's already on there.
Or on the.
Should just move it up the bucket list closer to the top. It'll be
dark bottle.
It'll be a work trip.
Dark glass bottle bucket.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. So it's also part of the Mind diet. We've talked about that episode.
Oh, it was like 13, 8? 12. 11, somewhere around there.
We'll put that in the show notes 14. Too. Because that Mind diet is a combination of the Mediterranean combined with the DASH, which is the dietary approaches to stop hypertension, and using the principles of the Mind diet, which are about, 8 to 10 different things to include in the week. One of the elements at the end of the list is use olive oil instead of butter.
Okay. And are we going to get into a little bit of that? Because that was the question, right? Comparing olive oil and butter.
So why do you think you'd want to use olive oil versus butter?
Well, butter's an animal fat, and olive oil is a plant fat, so maybe there's a difference there.
Yeah, saturated fat. The butter is loaded with saturated fat, which
isn't good.
And it increases LDL, the bad cholesterol.
Right.
We know that olive oil can be, well, with this one study, the Predimed, which is pretty huge, like 7,000 people, and just it did show the decreased risk of cardiovascular disease and increase in heart health, anti-inflammatory, helpful for longevity. All these things they're
all positives.
Benefits of olive oil. And with the coconut oil, again, really high in saturated fat, even though it's a plant.
Right. I remember that.
Yeah. And actually it's correlated with increases in cholesterol.
Because of the saturated fat.
Oil. Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially for people that didn't necessarily grow up, or their ancestors. If their ancestors didn't grow up where there was coconut trees in their backyard, you might not be able to tolerate that coconut oil as well as someone who might have been.
Right. Yeah, I remember we've talked about that before, kind of your family heritage, and it's like what your genes are able to recognize almost, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Interesting.
So I think coconut oil has been kind of trendy.
Kind of.
Or over, well, maybe not as much anymore, but it was probably 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And it might not be super helpful. Like, it's one that I think a combination of different oils and, added fats that you're using in your food and your meals is fine. And just know that you're adding extra calories in terms of if you're looking to manage your weight, and if you don't want to add a lot of extra fat to your food, just watch how much olive oil, coconut oil, butter that you use. But it's probably a good idea to have the extra virgin olive oil if possible. Use that more frequently. And the way we use it is like drizzle it over the food before we're going to serve it.
Right. Like not for cooking.
No, you can use it for cooking, but you're not going to get as much of a benefit of the polyphenols that are in the olive oil.
Mm-hmm.
So you can definitely, it's got a fairly high smoke point, so it is okay for cooking. But if it has, like, say you've turned on your stove, put olive oil in the pan, walked away, got distracted, and you come back and it's smoking, I suggest you cool the pan down, dump the olive oil that has been damaged by that smoke.
The heat.
Yeah, it basically not damaged by the heat. Well, damaged by the heat, not necessarily the smoke. But
it's smoking because of the heat.
Exactly. Yeah. And it's breaking down, and it's causing lots of free radicals. So it's not actually going to be a health-enhancing meal that you're making with that degraded olive oil in your pan.
Mm-hmm.
The other aspect of the quality of the oil is if it's been used before, like say for frying and you're reusing oil, which some restaurants do, that is going to, the smoke, like basically it's degrading every time you use it. So the temperature the smoke point temperature is changing, and it's not as, it's better to use fresh.
It's like putting old gas in your lawnmower.
Oh, yeah. Have you done that?
Well, I don't know. Sometimes it just sits over the winter, and then you expect it to be the same quality as it was in the fall. And it's like, where does my lawnmower start?
That's funny.
It degrades.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so funny.
So, yeah, you don't want to eat that either.
Ew.
So
yes.
I was just going to say, I had some broccoli at lunch there, just like cold broccoli chunks, and I put some olive oil on it. It's delicious. Instead of like dipping it in a big thing of ranch dip or something, which a lot of times people will do that with their cold veggies. Olive oil is amazing. It was super tasty and added that, the wetness that you want from a dip. So, yeah,
that's a great idea. Yeah, absolutely. It does. It makes food taste nice, and it could be potentially healthful.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to slather my bits of broccoli with butter.
Right.
Or coconut oil. I think coconut oil would be a funny flavor. Like coconut oil definitely has a place because of its flavor.
Yes.
It's limiting because of its flavor.
Or
it's enhancing, I suppose, too.
Absolutely. I use it in, the coconut milk in like rice, like basmati rice dishes, and in, butter chicken or things like that. And it's really delicious. But it's not that I don't go out of my way to buy coconut oil to only use that. I think it's a good idea to have a variety of different oils that you might use for cooking, baking, salad dressings, whatever the application is. But in terms of should I use olive oil or coconut oil, are they better than butter? So the final analysis would be, it'd be a good idea to have extra virgin olive oil in your pantry and to use that more often than butter if possible. And coconut oil, I wouldn't use it instead of olive oil. I would use it in certain dishes, but in moderation and not all the time, if that makes sense.
Because it still has that saturated fat in it as well. So it's no better than the butter in that regard.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. So, and extra virgin olive oil is just watch the date on the back, like the harvest date. Try to get one that's not like over 18 months if possible. And when you do use it at home, store it in a cool, dark place and use it fairly, like don't have it sitting around for years because that's not going to help the quality of it and it will degrade over time.
There you go. Awesome. Well, thanks for sharing that. Thanks for the question from our listener as well. If you're looking for more great tips, check out our newsletter. You can sign up for that on our website. It's mywifethedietitian.com. Our newsletter is free to join. And like I said, it comes out every week. You can find a link for that on the website. You can also send us your questions like our listener did today. You can email us at mywifethed@gmail.com. We're happy to answer whatever it is that is on your mind. You can also find us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Feel free to reach out to us there. We love hearing your comments, your feedback. It's super helpful for us as far as moving the show forward. We want to make sure that we're giving you kind of information that you're looking for. So let us know how we're doing. You can also rate and review. That's another way to let us know. Most podcast players will have a way to rate and review the show. So that would be much appreciated. Something else you can do is share with your friends. If you're liking the show, I'm sure they would too. So make sure you pass that along to them. So that is it for today. We'll be back next week with another full episode. So until then, have a fantastic week, everyone. Thanks for joining us today on My Wife, the Dietitian. If you like what you heard, don't be shy. Leave us a comment or review, and be sure to share our podcast with your friends. If you'd like to hear more, hit that subscribe button. You can also follow us on our social media pages for updates, episode trailers, and other odds and ends. For more info and links on what we discussed on today's episode, check the show notes. We'll be back next week with another informative and fun-filled episode.